bus coming. I think you can get to the straightaway for him right here. In our last video, we took you up to the 5 towers, Cinque Torri, and it was amazing. Now, what we're learning about the Dolomites is around every curve is somewhere to park on the side of the road with beautiful views and beautiful hikes. But we're headed maybe 2.5 miles up the road to our next destination, where we hope we can take another lift up to another restaurant to a little bit more aggressive of a hike. We're thinking that I can do a little bit of it and Curt can do quite a bit more of it. But we have also heard that some of it is still closed because it still has snow on it. Now those reviews are about 10 days old, so we've got to get up here, find our parking place, start to do a little intel, and see if this hike is even going to be worth it. But while we're driving here, literally around every curve, our jaws just flap open from the sheer beauty of this place. It's unbelievable, isn't it, Curt?
Oh, it's just majestic. All right, guys, here we go. This is our campsite for the night. And if you can see that gondola going up right there, that's going to be the ride to that peak up there. Now what I am debating is if I'm going to walk up that. So that option would be Snow would ride up, I would meet her up top by walking up top. Now there are some war type trenches, things like that. Some of it, if you guys saw the last video, some stuff like that. But this also has some caves and some long tunnels. So definitely anxious to see that. You can see a lot more if you walk up. You can also from the top walk down and see some, and that's what we're hoping Snow can see. Anyway, decisions. There are so many beautiful trails around here to see, and pretty happy with our view for tonight. Look at that. Definitely no shortage of hikes around here. All right, I came here to check on the logistics, and it looks like it's $26.50 for a round trip up and back on the gondola. It's $18.50 for the one way. So if I decide to walk up, Snow takes the tram up. I pay $18.50, she pays $26.50. That's how it goes. Opens tomorrow at 9. I think that's gonna be our target, so maybe I'll try to start my hike around 7 and meet her up there. We'll see what happens. We never know.
Go, Nina, go. Oh, you gotta smell that.
Country lanes and coastal plains, endless views that we're passing through, making our way to a distant place, just us two, somewhere new.
All Bannon.
We watch the sky fade into the night. With you, my arms, nothing can go wrong. We'll fall asleep on a starlit beach, just us two, somewhere new. Somewhere new. Just us two.
She's catching up.
Follow
She's on your heels.
somewhere
He's going around.
He's looking for the lead.
She's passing on the inside. Oh no, gee. Vanna. She's like, oh, rock.
So it was about 8 o'clock. I stuck my head out of the van and I saw the sun was going down and these mountains and this sky and even the trees and the landscape just started changing colors right before my eyes. And I just had to walk up this trail a bit so I could get some better views of the valley down below and all the mountains around, and the panorama is just magnificent. And I just stood here for about an hour and just got a magical light show as the sun set, the sky turned orange, the mountains turned, well, all kinds of colors, including pinks and oranges, and well, this place is just really magical. And we've been a lot of places in the world, a lot of beautiful places, and I'll tell you what, the Dolomites are right up at the very tippy top of that list. Good morning, everyone. Well, I got a big hike today, and I've been staring up at this mountain. We got here yesterday, and I checked out the lift tickets, and Snow can take the lift up over there. You can probably see the cable wires. And up on top there, there's a lodge, or as they call them over here, refugio. And I'm gonna walk up there, and you can kind of see my trail wraps around this mountain, and actually it goes into some tunnels. And I've been looking, and I got the drone out and was looking for these tunnels, trying to figure out my route. And it looks like I go into a tunnel, climb up through it, and I don't even know. So it's gonna be an adventure hike up through there, through this old World War II trenches, tunnels, dugouts, all that type of stuff. This was a hot spot, World War I. This was a hot spot between the Austrians and the Italians. So anyway, that's gonna add, I don't know, kind of an exciting, adventurous, unusual aspect to this. And oh, by the way, it's over a 2,000-foot climb up there. And so that's way on up there. So it's gonna take me a few hours to get up there. Snow's gonna bring the lift a little bit later. So let's get this walk underway. In quick order, we made it up above the refugio where the van's parked. And we're at a crossroads. And I should say the path that's more like a road is the easy path. I think that's how they get supplies up here to the restaurant. But we're not taking the easy trail. And even though there's no signs, I checked my map and I'm pretty sure this is the trail up through these tunnels. So we're gonna find out. Over there is Cinque Toro that we hiked in the last episode. Me and Snow walked around that place. There's ski resorts and ski lifts all around on the peaks of these mountains and runs down all the hills. And wow, what a great place to ski. Can't imagine this place covered with snow. Imagine it's absolutely stunning with all these peaks just sticking out. This is kind of a river wash. So obviously it's dry now. Probably when there's big snow melts, it comes raining down here. You can see kind of where the water's cut through these rocks. And looking up to this cave, I was trying to wonder how we get up here. Couldn't see the trail, but it looks like we're gonna snake back and forth. And I do see, oh, there's a woman up there. Someone's ahead of us, and she's almost to the cave. Most of the writing is in Italian, so I don't necessarily understand what that says. But I did download a map here yesterday, and, well, I'm still confused. I know there are some trenches and some walls over there from the war, so maybe I'll head over there. But I don't know if that's how I continue up. I'm gonna go over there and see where it takes me. And so this is my crossing right here. And if you can see down below me, it's just kind of a rocky, gravelly mess. And on these slopes, it's really slippery. So I got to figure out how to slide down in this trench and get across it to get over there. Oh, brother. Adventure trail is right. That's a pretty steep, slippery climb down right there. All right, we made it through. Probably won't be the most difficult challenge of the day, but it was a little slippery through there. And I see we're almost up to the caves, up to the right. And you can see the war encampments to the left. That's where we're going. So this is an Italian frontline trench right here. We're about to go see. It's really just a little tunnel, maybe a little space back there for some mortars. And you can see just a couple of eye holes. Another steep ascent here along this mountain, looking for these sort of war artifacts. There's a tunnel up there. I'm headed there. Wow. So as we get up here, there's a whole set. There's a whole area of dugouts and caves and temporary walls, places where people could hide ammunition and themselves. This had to be a brutal war, guys. This, I believe, is a pretty big tunnel. Oh, it gets dark as we get back in here. Now, I knew about the darkness, so I brought my headlamp. It's totally dark up in here. Get our headlight on. And this is going up pretty good. You can see some of the moisture in the cave dripping off the rocks. It looks like it has a little bit of a glimmer. And it's actually a pretty steep climb up through here. Oh, and it's real pebbly rock. And it is slippery. Wow. All right. The tunnel ends right there, but there's a turn off to the left here, and the ceiling's lower. Looks like that's been a bit of a cave in there, maybe. I see light. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Wow. And it just loops around. And there's a trail down, but I'm not going to go down there. All right, it says access gallery to the ledge incomplete. So I'm thinking it's likely that I'm not going to be able to go through this and up all wooden ladder here for some storage. And look at these lookouts. This is literally just carved out of the side of the mountain, guys. There's the van down there. And at the entrance to the tunnel, a couple dandelions found a place to live. Wow, pretty cool. All right, so it turns out this This little area that we just been in is a little military playground, and it's a one-way, so we can't get to the top from there, so we've got to back out of this little piece and continue to head up the mountain, and so that's what we're going to do. But that little war stuff was cool, and I know there's a lot more of it up here to come. I just didn't know kind of how the tunnel system worked, where it begins and where it ends. The maps just aren't real clear on that, but we'll figure it out. At least we know we just got to go up.
The silence can be cruel with everything to lose. You can hear a pin drop filling up the room. Shadows in the sky, running out of time, drowning in the questions, who will live or die? Something's coming, I can feel it now, I can feel it. Something's coming, I can feel it now, I can feel it. It's the calm before the storm. Waiting takes its toll, courage running cold. Will we see the future? No one ever knows. No one ever knows. Something's coming, I can feel it now, I can feel it. Something's coming, I can feel it now, I can feel it. It's the calm before the storm. It's the calm before the storm.
There's just no safe way to make it around that way.
Good morning. Curt, somewhere up there on that mountain, and I have just left the van. Our parking lot is busy. There's a starting point for a lot of hikes through here. But I need to walk across the road, get on the ski lift. Actually, I think it's more of a cable car, and go way up top to the restaurant where I'm gonna meet Curt. It's a little chilly today, and the elevation's a little higher. We'll have to see how I feel when I get up there to see if I'm gonna do any walking around or if I'm just gonna chill and relax at the coffee shop at the top. But let's get going. All right, that was a weebly wobbly ride to the top. That cart definitely sways in the wind, but I've made it to the top. Let's look over this edge because Curt's down there somewhere in the tunnels. Wow.
All right, there's people up there on that ridge, so I can definitely see that's a potential path, but there's a big boulder in my way. Maybe if we go this way and peek around the corner. Last time we did this, there was a big giant fallen boulder they had taken out the path. All right, on a solo hike, there's just no way I feel like I can make it through there safely. The edges where it's been eroded, maybe since last season, are just too steep and gravelly, so you just can't get a foothold. Just in case you guys are wondering what I'm up against. And believe it or not, the big rocky stuff is pleasant. It's that little gravelly stuff when you put your foot down. It just slides out from underneath you. But I see a cable up there, so I know that's part of the trail, so I'm almost there. And alas, there's an easier way. So this one has steps and cables, and this one doesn't. So clearly that's an old trail with trail markings that's been washed out. And well, Curt went up it anyway. But they have cables along the trail. This is the next phase of the sort of military encampment, and the next start of an adventure. Looks like that cable kind of disappears into the rubble. And so what I'm thinking is they definitely had a rock slide through here and took out what was the trail, and they've rerouted it. But we're about to go spelunking into another cave.
Definitely a little colder up here. Had to bundle up a little, put the jacket on, my neck scarf. I've got gloves, but I don't know if I need those because I can put my hands in my pocket. So it's not freezing, but it's chilly and it's windy. So that bus, the crowds that were on it are on their way up. So I'm gonna walk over here to at least one lookout point before the crowds get up here. And that might be it. The elevation's high up here, and I may just hang out at a restaurant until Curt gets here. But we got to do a little bit of adventuring. Look at this big pile of snow. And just to give y'all a reference, it's pretty much July, and all this snow is still up here. But here we go. And yes, I know the videos come out a little bit late, but we need time for editing and finding suitable internet speed for uploading. And being able to stick to our twice a week schedule means we just really need to be a little bit behind real time. So, wow, it is amazing up here.
Feels good to be back on flat ground. And I just got my headlamp on, but it looks like this is a fairly short tunnel. Oh, with a straight drop off. What? This got interesting real fast. So if you can see, there's a cable right here. I got to get over there. So let's work our way down here. I think, guys, I'm going to need to put my ski poles or my walking sticks away here. It's, well, this is what I have to say. It's straight down, but there's cables. And there's snow, and there's ice, and that's what we hear. River crossing. You can see people down there coming up the trail I was supposed to come up. Good for them. All right, we are going in a tunnel, and I don't believe we're going out the same way we came in. So, for those who are claustrophobic, I'm sorry, but we gotta do this to get out of here. And this, you can see there's water just running down through this canyon, through this tunnel. Oh, and it's straight up. So we gotta be careful here, guys. I'm not gonna show you this whole thing, but it goes way up. I'll show you if something interesting happens. But I got some climbing to do.
So I walked up a little bit higher to the Refugio. Where we were at before was just a little cafe where the ski lift docks. But from up here you have amazing views of all the different mountain ranges around. Wow. Now I would love to walk out there, but I'm not going to push it, guys, not at this elevation. I think we're going to see if we can grab a coffee, sit down, and wait on Curt. Or I've already had coffee this morning, maybe a juice.
So every once in a while, you come up through here, they got little peepholes out the side of the mountain. But I won't look. We can see it's pitch black down there. And well, I have no idea how far we have left to go. Another thing to keep in mind is not only are these stairs slippery and steep, but they're also irregular. So the ceiling's low. You keep your head down looking at stairs. You got to make sure you don't crack your head on the roof. So I'm not sure what sort of stuff this is. Some wood and some ashes. But we made it to the top of that first set of stairs. I don't know if there's more. Whew, it was steep. And it opens up here. See if we can look down and see below. I don't know if you can see the trail down there or not. All right, we can't go that way. So I'm not sure how to get out of here, guys. Well, guess let's go back where we were. Try to figure it out. I'm lost in the maze. All right, I made it back to the main hallway here. And at first, there's sort of a little pebbly, rocky trail here, and we're going up. I don't know if you can see it. And there's more stairs. That was a pretty big labyrinth of tunnels and some cool viewpoints. But let's do some climbing. And it's an eerie feeling. We've been in this tunnel a long way, and although there's little peepholes, the only way out is either up or down. Ooh. This is a steep, long stairway, guys. And to be honest with you, it's cold and it's creepy and it's dark. We gotta keep going. Different colors on the stone. And in some places, as we're coming up through here, there's no stairs. And so you're just walking on these stones that have been polished by people coming up here over the years. And then all of a sudden, you get back to where there's stairs. And the ceiling's starting to get lower too, guys, in some places. So not only do you have to walk up these slippery rocks, but you also have to be ducking your head so you don't clank the ceiling. What'd I get myself into? Now there's some timber stairs and some planks up here, and it looks like there's some light. I don't know if this is just an exhibit or the way out. If not, there's another way that goes up here, super steep. So I don't want to go super steep unless I only got to go one way. So I'm going to test this area first. There's a little chute there that's closed, do not enter. And I guess we can go up in here and look at this, but I don't think this is the way out. But we'll go look. So I'm standing on a wooden platform, and it looks like that's a shaft that's been braced up, but has slid in and is no longer accessible. But if we turn around this way, there's a spiral staircase. And there's more stairs. And there's a little crawl space there. I will not be crawling in that, I can assure you. In case you guys are wondering, I chose the path on the left. Back there, climbed up the stairs on the platform, spun around, saw a spiral staircase. And since then, I've been walking up. Not sure if this is the way out. I hope this is not a dead end. Not something I want to backtrack on this point. But we're going to move forward and hope, fingers crossed, guys, we don't have to go back down and go up that other way. Whew.
All right, so we're at 9,028 feet. We've been waiting on Curt up here for a long, long time. I think maybe the hike up was a lot harder than he thought it was going to be. But I can't complain about hanging out up here. It's a beautiful view. Lots of birds. But I think we're going to try to maybe go inside, see if we can get some lunch. And in about another hour, we'll give up on him and head on down without him.
And even as we climb the stairway, there's a little tunnel that branches off. There's just an elaborate labyrinth of tunnels down here. And I could see how it would be easy to get lost. Wow. I don't want to go too far, guys, because I don't want to get lost up here. But I am seeing some light, and I do think I have to go back to the stairs and go up more to get out anyway. Oh. There's a little bullet hole up here. Wow. Alright, there's a little ladder and escape hatch you can get to up there. But to be honest with you guys, I'm out of adventuring. I just want to get up to the lodge. So, there may be more tunnels to explore. I'm not exploring them. I'm getting back to the lodge. I'm going up these stairs. Fingers crossed I don't have to go back down to get up. Alright. We've encountered another set of wooden stairs in what looks to be a deck. And there's definitely some natural light peeking in. But unfortunately, there's still more stairs up. Ooh, there's some light, and that looks like promising light. Please, promising light, be the top. And look, right down there is Cinque Torre. Oh, what a beautiful view from up here. Wow. And down there you can see the van. And I have message with Snow, and she is waiting for me up at the top. But I came out of this door area right here. And I guess you got a couple options, through the cave or up through the rocks there. I can't really tell. It looks like... So I've been wondering what kind of guns they would shoot out of here. And it looks like they were Hausers. I would have thought they were much bigger, sort of launchers or whatever. But I don't think this is the way out, so I'm gonna go up that little cable line and try to get up to the refugio. Well, the good news is it looks like we came up the right way. The bad news is we've got tunnels, more tunnels. And these are much lower. Oh man, not what I wanted. And more stairs. And great. We have a split in the road. Oh, come on. I took the right path. I mean, when I say right, not the left. I don't know if it's the right path. There's a hole there. I doubt that's it. I'm going back the other way. I think I hear some voices. And definitely it's much slipperier coming down than it is up.
We finally heard from Curt. He's been in the tunnels for a long time and there was no reception in the tunnels. He sounds wore out. He said it's very steep in those tunnels, but he is maybe 15 minutes away and we've decided we're going to eat lunch up here before we head down. So I've grabbed a menu and we will wait on him. Some of this pasta looks good, and the soup, and the polenta. Oh no, everything looks good.
This is beginning to be beyond the pale. And this right here, if you can see, is sort of like a wooden spiral staircase. But the steps, I mean, I can't. The steps are like knee high. There's my knee. And there's the step. And the ceiling, like my head's on the ceiling, so it's almost like you gotta crawl through this thing. I just hope this is the right way out. And I couldn't film that section because I was literally crawling on my hands and my knees. And, well, I made it to a ladder that goes straight up and out of a hole. So there's a hole up there. We'll see. Well, I'm devastated. I thought this was maybe going to be the fancy way out, but instead it's an absolute, complete dead end. Maybe I can scale up here and see what's over here. But guys, I think I'm going to have to go back down through there. Scampered up the rock here just to get a view. And that's, I think, the lift place right there. And there's some people right there, and there's a trail right here, but there's no way for me to get over there. And so I got to go back down here, back down through that tunnel, and I guess try that other way. And if that other way doesn't squirt out, then I'm gonna have to go all the way back down.
So I decided to start with a bowl of soup while we're waiting on Curt. I think it's supposed to be beef and barley. We'll see if it's any good.
Thankfully, I met some people who came down, who were coming down, and anyway, they said this is the way out, and this is a harder part of the tunnel, but if it's the last, I don't care. I'm just basically on my last leg. If you hear that scraping, that's my walking sticks scraping on the roof of the tunnel. And there are just more and more stairs. Lord, just get me out of this tunnel. All right, I think I'm making progress. I don't want to get my hopes up, but I see another light at the end of the tunnel. And each time I've been greeted by Cinque Torre, it has not been good necessarily, because behind us is where the resort is. It is good news, really good news. If you can see, that's the entrada to the Galleria. You can see some bunkers below. Those guys are about to plunge into what I just came out of. Up there is the lift right up there. And so I just got to walk around here to get there. And look at these views. So much more relaxing and tranquil, I can tell you, than being in that maze of tunnel. Oh, a lot of people walk that hike down. Most people do. They take the thing up and walk it down. I prefer to walk stuff like that up because it's a bit slippery, but the hard bits are at the top. And so I was already worn out having to deal with those. And anyway, those guys are going down to get into it. But look at this little thing right here. Just a narrow little thing to walk across. And they got some cables for safety because that's straight down. And over there straight down. So we're crossing it. And now we're going through some old World War I trenches. There's still some snow and ice up here. So this was an Austrian frontline trench. Ooh. And this trench is closed. Another obstacle. I can see some people up there. So I'm just going to try to scamper along these rocks right here. There's no easy way, guys.
Look who Al found. He made it. He looks beat.
That was very hard.
The tunnels were steep.
Oh man. And they're windy and I got lost.
Oh no.
It was steep.
All right, let's get you something to drink and some food. So I went with a carrot pumpkin dumpling with some Parmesan and pumpkin seeds. Curt went with some lamb ribs, potatoes, and polenta. What do you think about it? How's it look?
It looks like a ton of food, but I'm hungry, so we'll give her heck.
Dig in. It's good. It's got a bit of an odd texture. It's soft and mushy. I don't know how else to explain it. It's definitely like something I've never had. But Curt just gave me one of these ribs, so I'm going to dig into that too. You got enough energy for a rib report? Or is that all we get?
Pretty tasty lamb. I'm loving the polenta, which is a traditional treat up here. Corn-based, like cornmeal type thing. And then they have a little cranberry stuff here I haven't even tried yet. The lamb's right on.
All right. Lunch was pretty good. Curt is wore out. And honestly, the altitude has me where I don't want to do too much walking up here. So we're doing the short walk down to the cable car and get a ride back down to our van. But everywhere you look up here, it's just beautiful, guys. It's just beautiful. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys!